One Piece chapter 953. Now, in terms of my enjoyment when it comes to this chapter, this is like a 9 out of 10, even though the plot didn't progress that much, because we got answers to a lot of questions we had previously, and this chapter gave us more depth when it comes to individuals like Kamawatsu and Gyukimaru, who were for the longest characters that we've always found mysterious when they were initially introduced. You know, like, where did Gyukimaru come from? It was almost like he was out of place in this arc. We know that he wasn't with the Beast Pirates, and we knew that he didn't have any ties to the Samurai or the Alliance. That was something I always found weird. So this revelation was something I think a lot of us did not expect. And I also have a few questions pertaining to what Gyukimaru is, because this is the first time we've seen something like this, and I personally don't think it's the devil fruit ability. I definitely think there's more to it. And we also got a lot of hints towards someone who might be related to Zoro. It's not a guaranteed, but damn, the similarities are crazy right now. But let's start from the beginning. Now, this chapter starts off with Zoro's side of things, with him, Kamawatsu, Gyukimaru, and Hiyori. And again, following from the previous chapter, Zoro chases Gyukimaru. Even though he lost sight of him, Zoro was going to use his blood trace to chase him out. But to his surprise, the trail stopped and Gyukimaru was nowhere to be seen. And we eventually come to find out that Gyukimaru was a fox that took on a form of a person. And this goes all the way back to Kamawatsu's backstory, where we learned that Gyukimaru is a fox that goes by Onimaru. And he was sort of the right hand of Shimotsuki Ushimaru, who was the lord of the Shimotsuki family at that point in time. Now, interestingly, we also know that Yasu's last name was Shimotsuki. We also know that Ryuma also held the title of Shimotsuki. We know that Zoro's village back in the East Blue is called the Shimotsuki village. So there's a lot of connections here that could be tied to Zoro's past. And when you look at the silhouette of Ushimaru, he looks almost like Zoro but with tied hair. So is this person connected to Zoro in some way, shape, or form? I definitely say so. I mean, everything started out with Yasu and Yasu's men having the same symbol as Zoro's master. I think there's definitely more here. Now, it might not be Zoro's father per se, but it might be like a close relative to Zoro. So this is massively interesting, because I think we've always wanted to know for the longest, does Zoro have any family members, and does he have ties to the people of Wano? I think we're getting closer and closer to that. We finally have something, so this is great. So the hype is real. So going back to Gyukimaru here, we also learned that he took on the title as Gyukimaru because he wanted to fulfill Kamawatsu's goal, and that was to get enough weapons to arm the rebellion forces once they go up against Kaido. And this all stems from Kamawatsu's belief in thinking that these weapons are going to be needed in the future, and the battle with Kaido isn't over yet. And from that, Onimaru kept that in mind, and when Kamawatsu stopped appearing, Onimaru then took on the role, even though he wasn't quite accepting in the beginning. Again, I really like this whole sequence, and it was enjoyable all the way to the end. And this backstory also gave us a lot of depth to Kamawatsu, because we saw how he handled things and how loyal he was to the cause, going as far as to kill himself because he couldn't protect Hiyori. So we saw his frustration, and it makes us care about his character a lot more. And this answers the question about how the rebellion forces are going to get their weapons, because Onimaru has been gathering weapons for the last 13 years. Again, this was a dope backstory, and I really enjoyed it. And finally, we get the huge bombshell about the blade that gave Kaido his scar. Now, Hiyori tells Zoro that in exchange for Shisui, she'll give him Enma as a replacement. And this is the blade that supposedly hurt Kaido and gave him his one and only scar. And people have always wondered as to who gave Kaido his scar. It's been speculated for the longest that it was Whitebeard, but it turns out that it was Odin. Again, the hype on Roger's crew does not end, because, you know, Kaido is said to be someone who is invulnerable, and you have someone on Roger's crew who's actually hurt him. Now, this is hype, and this is hype because there's always been theories about how Zoro was going to cut a dragon, and that was being parallel to how Ryuma cut a dragon as well. So it's been around for a while, and this was something I knew about, but I wasn't sure if Oda was going to go through with it, because with this, Zoro is going to be a big player when the alliance goes up against Kaido, because more than likely this is one of the 12 Supreme Blades, and one that's going to play a role when it comes to hurting Kaido. And it's most likely a fire blade, because Zoro said he always wanted one, and Kaido's scar seems to be caused by heat or fire because of how it's shaped. So this pushes Zoro to a whole new level when it comes to his involvement against Kaido, though I'm not sure if he's willing to exchange that for Shisui. It might be a thing he might use temporarily for this arc specifically. So yeah, the hype on Zoro is real right now. I'm sure a lot of Zoro fanboys are probably going crazy. I mean, I'm happy for Zoro because this is going to be insane. But overall, this was an amazing chapter. You know, Zoro having ties to Wano, we might see that get expanded upon in the next couple of chapters. You know, Zoro's potential new sword that's able to hurt Kaido. Mind you, one of Kaido's biggest assets is his durability, so that's going to be huge. So there's a lot of things that can be expanded upon in this chapter, and I might make a separate video about Zoro's swords because there's a lot to talk about there. So yeah, the hype is real, but again, just my quick thoughts on on the chapter. Comment down below what you guys think. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more One Piece content on this channel. It is Pharaoh, and I will see you guys later. Peace.